So I feel like I've been seeing this wave recently, slowly starting to build,
Okay.
of women finding Christ. Like young women finding religion, finding God, finding this level of spiritual or religious guidance.
Yeah.
Have you seen this? Why do you think it's happening? Like, what's your take on that?
I have seen it, and I've seen it more so with women taking the route of celibacy.
Yes.
It's a big thing right now
Yes.
for women. Yeah. A lot of people that I speak to, a lot of women are saying they really love being celibate at the moment. I think it's more so, it's a form of protection. It really is a form of protection for women at the moment. I think women are just kind of getting really tired of just meeting the same type of guys, meeting the wrong type of guys, or the guy who pretended to be Prince Charming in the beginning and then suddenly just switched up, and you're like, oh, hello, who are you?
Yeah, who's this? Yeah.
And it's like, it's the inconsistency, it's the ghosting, it's the like, because there's a big thing right now with like online dating, and women are saying that they feel like men are just kind of on the apps and they're not even turning up to the dates.
Really?
So they're not following up. So they're like giving it all the talk on the app, flirting, whatever.
Yep.
They ask the girl out for a drink or whatever, dinner, and on the day they don't turn up. Like there's so many like TikToks right now of like girls just complaining.
Just being stood up.
Yeah, being stood up, and they're putting the screenshot of the conversations between her and the guy, and the guy's just like, one guy was just like, oh, sorry, I just woke up from a nap. It's just things like that, and women are just sick and tired of it. So yeah, they are guarding themselves, and so they should, because why are you like opening yourself? Because I feel like, I know everybody's so different when it comes to intimacy and things like that. But personally with me, like I'm very like, I have traditional values. Like I would not be intimate with someone unless I saw that it was going to be marriage, and it was serious and it was like long term. So, and I really do feel like being intimate with someone is really not like a casual
it's not a small thing.
It's not. It's really not. Like that's something that you give to a person that you're going to marry, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So a lot of women are going down that route now. They're like, no, I want to stay celibate until marriage.
So are they going down that route in a response to the current hookup culture?
Yes.
To protect themselves? Yeah,
because a lot of women have been scarred, unfortunately.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's so interesting because I know exactly, any guy watching this, I know exactly what they're going to be saying. They'll be like, well, that's because you all choose the same guy.
Yeah.
And there are so many guys out there who would love to, get to know you, treat you well, all of this stuff. But then the irony is if they go down the celibacy route, I mean, it would only bring them to that kind of guy anyway. But then I don't know if that's the kind of guy that they'd be attracted to.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like it's more so women are taking charge now.
Sure.
And really setting boundaries, having high standards, having high requirements. It's kind of like they're saying, if you want to be with me, you've got to do this, 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 and then I will be intimate with you. It's kind of like, it's a new wave of women. It's called high value dating. It's called high value dating, and it's a big thing at the moment where women are kind of just seeing that they have given men a lot in the past, like, and probably got nothing. Like, how many women have wasted like 5-6 years playing wifey and never got the ring? Do you see what I mean? So it's things like that where they're like, no, you know what? I'm going to be celibate now until marriage, and I feel like it's I don't know, it's more just kind of like, as long as you're doing it because you truly want to do that, and it's what your gut and your heart is telling you. Like for me personally, I have strong morals. Yeah. So that's just like a given for me. Like I've always been like that from a very young age. So it's not like I've just started this new trend. I've always been this way in romantic relationships, and I'm always very honest with guys in the beginning, and I lay it out. I'm like, this is how I am. I have traditional values. I'm not going to sleep with you on the second date or the third date or the fourth date or the fifth date. So it's just something that's how I am. But a lot of women now are kind of putting it on. It is very kind of like, oh, well, I'm not going to sleep with him until like the 10th day, or like it's so, what's the word? It's
calculated.
It's so calculated these days, because we do have a lot of these kind of like dating experts, right? And some of them are great, don't get me wrong. But some of them are kind of like, especially on TikTok, they are just like saying anything.
Yes.
And so I feel like what I would say to women right now is do it because that's truly who you are as a person and it aligns with your values.
Yeah, not as a response.
Yes.
To because you've not been
yes
getting something.
Yes.
I agree.
Yeah, because then that can also come across as very kind of fake.
Yeah.
To someone.
But yes, but also if I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
I completely resonate with the approach of, okay, I'm only going to invest when I see it's reciprocal, but it has to be reciprocal.
Right.
She has to be wanting to, it can't just be, because when a woman goes, oh, well, if you want to get me, you have to do this, 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 and this.
Yeah.
All a guy hears is that A, you're either jaded, or B, that you're entitled.
Right. Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that a woman shouldn't have standards for who she would invest in, but it should be way more of an approach of, okay, this is what I look for and this is what I have to give.
Yeah.
And I think many people, and you know, you said about the power dynamic, I think many people today, they all date in a way of, what can I get from you? It's not,
it's very
this
transactional.
is what I have to offer.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so I think when people generally operate from a place, it's like on a dating app, when a girl puts in her bio, no hookups, no one night stands, all you're telling me is that you've been burned before and you're not over it.
Yeah,
That's
it's
all
not
that
a good
says.
look. I don't like that either.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Keep that to yourself. And it's kind of the thing of like, you know how people are really like big on boundaries these days, like, oh, I need to set boundaries. You set boundaries not by talking, by doing.
100%.
Because there's no point me sitting here telling you, oh, if you're rude to me right now, I'm going to walk out. But then you're rude to me and I go,
I told you I was going to walk out.
I will walk out. Like, just walk out.
100%.
And so I feel like with women, they're getting it wrong at the moment, because yes, there is all this advice out there, high value dating, you know, I'm kind of getting tired of that word now because we need something else to describe that.
Yes.
Dating, but having requirements maybe, or like having like just non-negotiables.
Yes.
I would say as a woman, you should always have non-negotiables. You should always have things that you're willing to put up with and things that you're not. And then there should always be a deal breaker for you. Like there's got to be something that you're like, no, I'm not going to accept that as a woman.
I agree. I think what's happening is that I separate between a high caliber man and a high quality man. A high caliber man refers to what he is: man of status, attractive, fitness, financial capability, all of that. A high quality man is how he shows up in his life. Yeah. Is he a man of his word?
Yeah.
Is he consistent?
Yes.
Does he have morals? Is he principled? Is he loyal to his family, his friends, and his woman? I think you can have a guy who's high caliber, but low quality.
Yeah.
Equally, you can have a guy who maybe isn't that high caliber, but very high quality. I think what's happened for a lot of women is they've been choosing based on the caliber, not on the quality.
Yeah.
And then what's happened is what they're getting tired of is they're tired of having low quality. So now they're saying, well, my standards, my high value dating is the quality has to be up here. It has to be principled, etc.
Yes.
But the issue is they're not adjusting the caliber of barrier to entry. So then what happens is they go, okay, well, I'm only going to give an opportunity for the guy who is 6 foot, 6 figures, all this, but I'm only going to give, like, when I give him the opportunity, I'm only going to give the investment when he demonstrates this crazy high quality.
Yeah. And
I agree in only giving the investment when he demonstrates a level of quality in character. But I think the barrier of entry for most women needs to be adjusted as well.
Right. Okay.
Because all that happens is that you end up not giving quality men.
Yes.
The opportunity who you could have a great relationship with.
Yes. Yes. And you're meeting these kind of high value men,
right,
who perhaps have the money, they have the status, they got the looks, they got the flashy stuff.
Yep.
But then you're getting really disappointed by how he behaves.
By how he is with you.
And you're not content and you're not satisfied. And then now you're looking for something else. So yes, I think because there's so much advice out there on how to get the high value man.
Very true.
Places to go for women to attract the high value man. I feel like this is all very damaging in a way because as someone who does go to a lot of high profile events, and I am in these kind of places a lot of the time, most of the time I do come across these typical high value men, but they lack so much when you actually, and I think we've spoken about this so many times, that like when you actually go on a date with these very highly successful men, CEOs, millionaires, billionaires, a lot of them lack what you're talking about, the quality.
The quality.
But then you could connect with another guy that is perhaps maybe not a millionaire, but he's still doing really well for himself.
100,000.
And he's like, you know, really killing it, big on self-improvement.
Yes. And
he does do all the other things. But because you're so wrapped up in that, I need a high value man, I need a high status man, I need this like guy, you're not giving a chance to those guys.
So for you then, because you've been single now, how have you been moving in terms of the guys you give opportunity to?
Yes. So I used to, well, I always come across those kind of guys that I told you, the ones who are kind of like very successful, money, all of that stuff. And I used to be like that before, like the girls, I'd be like, oh yes, I have a high value man. Finally, this is going to go great. What could go wrong?
Yes.
And then I meet this guy and I'm like, oh my God, he lacks so much depth. Like there's just no, like a lot of them just, because they have money, they don't, sounds really bad, but they lack social skills, like just basic social skills. It's just, because
he's not a man who has money is like a gorgeous woman.
Yeah.
And like, if you're a guy who has a lot of money, you can get a lot of women purely based on that. So you're not required to develop certain character skills that are actually beneficial for a relationship. And if you're a really gorgeous girl, enough to the fact that you can attract guys who are successful and have money who want to splash on you, you can get that without the requirement to work on yourself in those areas as well.
Hope you really enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full episode where that clip is from, then I want you to click right here where you can watch the full episode. And if you're ready to claim your man today, enroll in my program below, and I'll see you there. Wishing you an amazing day.